Hello, am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So the test which you have conducted yesterday, this was not as per the UPSC standard, because I know that in UPSC the questions are framed in a different way. Maximum questions are statement-based questions, but here the questions which I have asked here, they are like straightforward questions. Very few, what you can say, very few direct questions were there, like statement-based questions were there. So we'll try to, what you can say, solve this question. But again, you can see that this information may help you in finding out the answers of the medieval Indian history or the conceptual answers, right? So let me download the questions and we will continue. Just give me a minute. Okay. Can you see the question paper? Is it visible to all of you? Hello? Hello?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Check. Chaliye. So first question, which among the following was the most appropriate cause for the failure of Razia? So we have seen Razia Sultan was the first woman ruler of India, and due to some reason, she was, what you can say, thrown out of the what you can say, the throne, and that is what is explained here. So whatever the reason for that, her sakes, her intention to be the ruler not only in name but also in fact, her unpopularity within the people of Delhi, or her incompetence. So what do you think? What was the main cause for failure of Razia? What did you mark? Yes, Chandrasekhar, what do you think? What should be the answer of this question? Yes, Zainab?
Sir, A.
A. Okay,
Option
fine.
hurry.
Okay. Sonali?
Sir, A.
A. Fine. So A is correct, because she was not liked by the corpus of 40, because she was a woman, and being a woman, she was not supposed to take into rule over India. So the A is the answer for this question. Question number 2, what is meant by the 40 or the corpus of 40? Here actually they have mentioned only the 40, but it should be, what you can say, the corpus of 40. Who were this corpus of 40 during the Sultanate rule in India? So the cream of Afghan nobles, the pick of the intellectuals among the Khaljis, and the select body of the Turkish aristocracy, or the ulema or the Muslim divines. So what is the answer of these questions? Who were those corpus or corpus of 40? Yes, Sonali?
So I mark it A.
Cream of Afghan nobles. No, it is wrong. Yes, Zainab, what did you mark?
So C.
Yes. Sonali, the corpus of 40 is actually the select body of the Turkish aristocracy. So the corpus of 40 was in the beginning of the Turkish rule in India. And we know that in the beginning, Afghans were not as dominant as the Turkish in the initial, what you can say, the administration. So this corpus of 40 were actually the select body of the Turkish aristocracy. So majority of the corpus of 40 belong to the Turkish origin. So that is why answer C is correct. Okay? Then this is wrong. The ulema is also wrong. The pick is also wrong. Here is wrong because it is mentioned Afghan. So the corpus of 40 were actually Turkish and they were not Afghans. Then going to the third question. What was the most important cause of invasion of Mahmud of Ghazni? So what was the important? Like I asked you to read it out, the causes for the invasion of the Mahmud of Ghazni. So to destroy idolatry, to gain possession of wealth of India, to spread Islam into India, to establish a Muslim state in India. What was the main age? What was the main important cause or aim of the Muhammad Ghazni to invade India? Here answer is B, to gain possession of the wealth of India. He did not have any intention of spreading Islam in India, or he did not have an intention of establishing Muslim rule in India. His main intention was to capture the wealth which was there in India, because we have seen that during the medieval period, during the Gupta period, maximum wealth was stored in the temples. So temples were the center of the wealth of India during the medieval period, during the Gupta period, and that is why he attacked many temples and looted the wealth which was stored in the temples. Right? So, are all of you agree with this answer or any doubt? Check it. Going to the next question. Which is the correct chronological sequence of the following Sayyid rulers of Delhi? Now, nowadays, such type of questions are not asking. but I just want to know whether you know the sequence of the Sayyid rulers in India or not. Suppose if such type of questions come in the exam, I think you should skip this question, because what happens most of the time, such type of chronology is not easy to, what you can say, remember, and most of the times you get it wrong in attempting such type of questions. I have deliberately included this question so that I expected you to skip this question if you don't know exact chronology. And if you know the exact chronology, of course you need to attempt it, but if you don't know exact chronology, then you should skip such question, right? So anyone knows what is the exact chronological sequence of the Sayyid rulers in India? Yes, Chandrasekhar, did you check it out?
Option B, sir.
Option B,
Yes, sir.
4312, that is Khizr Khan, Mubarak Shah, Alauddin, Alam Shah, Muhammad Shah. Sheikh. So did you attempt this question? When I given
Yes,
you
sir.
the test, you attempted. So you got it correct
Yes.
or no?
Yes, sir.
So you knew it before.
Yeah, I know that.
ठीक है, चलिए, very good.
I
अगर
studied
आपको पता है, if
I
you
think
know such type of question, what you say, information, you should attempt it. Yes, Zainab, did you attempt this question?
Yes, I attempted.
So got it correct or wrong?
Yes, sir, correct. Sir, I was only knowing Hizr Khan was the first and Muhammad Shah I read it last. So, seeing that I marked B. बाकी दो का नहीं पता था.
ठीक है, चलिए, very good. What about you, Sonali? Did you attempt this question?
No, sir.
Okay, you didn't attempt, or you attempt and got it wrong?
No, sir. I skipped this question.
Very good. ठीक है, चलिए. Who else is there? Rupali, did you attempt this question?
No, sir, I didn't.
Okay, ठीक है. Satvir, am I audible to you? So you attempted these questions, or you are not attempted this question? Okay, your voice is not clear to me. Anyways, I'll go to the next question then. Which of one of the following statement is not correct? Not correct pucha hai. Now this is little, I have included this question because we have seen that there is one questions on the Vijayanagar Empire every year. So Krishna Devaraya wrote Amukta Malyada. He was the founder of the Tuluva dynasty. His court was adorned by Ashtadiggajas, and he maintained friendly relations with Portuguese. Yes, so which one is not correct? Yes, Zainab, sorry, Chandrasekhar. What
sir,
did you mark?
I guess all are correct.
All
I
are.
guess all are correct, sir.
So then what
But
did you?
so I marked the first one, sir. Krishna Deva. Sorry. I marked B, sir. He was the founder of Tuluva dynasty. Because
Why?
sometimes
Yes, Chandrasekhar.
sir,
Why you think that second statement is wrong?
sir, actually, so some textbook they have given he was the founder of Tuluva dynasty, but some textbook didn't give that. So I marked that one.
Okay, so there is something called Tuluva dynasty and Suluva dynasty of Vijayanagar, right? So
Yes, sir.
whether this Krishna Devaraya belonged to Suluva dynasty or he belonged to Tuluva dynasty? Yes, Zainab, what did you mark? A is correct, C is correct. A is correct, C is correct. Now there is confusion between B
D
and
is also correct.
sorry.
Sir, D is also correct. Sir, he belonged to Tuluva dynasty, but I was not sure that he was the founder of Tuluva
Very
dynasty.
good. Yes,
So,
he belonged to Tuluva dynasty, but he was not the founder of the Tuluva dynasty. So that is why B is wrong. So here there are two chances of having likely mistake in second statement. One is whether he is the founder and whether he belonged to Tuluva dynasty or not. So he was not the founder, yes, but he belonged to Tuluva dynasty. Okay? So here the answer should be B. Question number 6. What was the unique system developed by Mughals? Centralized autocracy, Rayatwari system settlement, Mansabdari system, or local responsibilities for crime detection? Yes. So what was the system developed by Mughals during their period? Which administrative system have been developed by Mughals? Yes, Sonali.
So I skipped this question.
It was very easy question, Sonali. You shouldn't have skipped this question. It's very easy. Yes,
I
Rupali.
get confused between A and B.
Sir, Mansabdari system.
Mansabdari system. Very good. Yes, the Mansabdari system have been developed by Mughals because centralized autocracy was not the feature of the Mughals, and even local responsibilities of the crime detection was also not given. The crime detection responsibility was given to the Subhedar, or what you can say, the what you can say provincial, what you can say, the head, right? So answer should be B. Mansabdari system. You have read Sonali, that Mansabdari system was started by Sonali. Mansabdari, Jagirdari, and Zamindari. These are the three systems which have been, what you can say, developed by the Mughals in during their period. Yes, Sonali.
Yes, sir, but I confused between Rayatwari and Mansabdari system. So
Rayatwari was started by British, not by Mughals. Like we have read, like modern India, we have seen Rayatwari system was started by Mughals. Sorry, British and not by Mughals. Am I right, Zainab? Yes, Chandrasekhar, you want to say something?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Chandrasekhar, can you please mute yourself? Check. Now going to the next question. The Buland Darwaza was built to mark Akbar's conquest of Awadh, Malwa, Gujarat, Chittor. Anyone knows when the Akbar has built the Buland Darwaza as a symbol of defeat over which among the following provinces? Awadh or Malwa or Gujarat or Chittor? The answer is C, that is Chittor. Sorry, Gujarat. Okay? It is again a factual question. If you know, then only you should attempt it. Otherwise, it's better to skip such question. Okay? Anyone is there who have attempted and got it wrong? Attempting and getting it correct is good, but attempting and getting it wrong is not good. Skipping is better than not attempting. Fine? Check it. Going to the next question. What is meant by Mughlai? So Mughlai means infantry of the Mughals, or very rich food of the Mughal, or royal household, or Mughals territories from which the Chaut was claimed. Yes. Anyone knows? What is the answer of this question? Yes, Zainab?
So food, rich food.
Rich food is called as Mughlai. Okay. Yes, Chandrasekhar?
Sir, I marked infantry of the Mughals.
Infantry of Mughals. Okay. Sonali?
sir, I marked C, royal household.
Royal household. Okay. Yes, Rupali?
Sir, I also mark C.
You have also marked D. Okay. 1 second. Huh?
C, sir.
1 second. Anand sir. ಬಹುತೇಕ ನನಗೆ ಅನಿಸ್ತದ ಕಲ್ಲಿ ಪಿರ್ಗಿತೆ ಆ ಕಡೆ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಮಾಡ್ದಂಗೆ ಅನಿಸ್ತದೆ. Hello, sorry. Am I audible now? Yes. So, yes, Rupali, what did you mark for this question related to the Mughlai?
C, sir.
Sorry, 1 second. Let me share. C. One second. C means royal household. Okay, so actually the answer of this question is B, that is very rich food. So here you can see in such type of what you can say the question, most of the time students get it wrong if they don't know exactly what is the meaning of Mughlai, right? So now Zainab know about Mughlai because she must be eating Mughlai food. So she must be knowing about that, but others are not knowing about what exactly Mughlai is, right? So what should you do in such type of questions if you don't know exactly what is the meaning of Mughlai? Then you shouldn't try to attempt such question. Right, so can you see here? If you search it in Google, you can see simply like all of you can see here. 1 second. When I'm searching it here, so the images will help you understanding that what Mughlai is. Can you all see the screen? Is it visible?
Yes,
Hello?
sir, it's visible.
So what should be the answer for this question then?
Very rich food.
Very rich food, right? Check it, chaliye. So I'll go to the next question. Akbar established Ibadat Khana. Akbar established Ibadat Khana. 1 second. Sorry. Okay, Akbar established Ibadat Khana at what? Which place? Lahore, Delhi, Agra, Fatehpur Sikri. So last time we have seen there was a question asked that Ibadat Khana. What was Ibadat Khana? They have asked it question. So now I have asked a factual question. So you need to know where it was, what it can say created. Yes, Rupali, where the Ibadat Khana was built?
Fatehpur Sikri.
Yes, Fatehpur Sikri. So Fatehpur Sikri was for some time was the capital of Akbar, where he built both Buland Darwaza as well as Ibadat Khana. Right? Okay. Going to the next question. Which one of the following method of revenue assessment is related to the Vijayanagar Empire? Chaut, Rayatwari, Rai Reku, Sardeshmukhi. Yes. Can you eliminate the answer and find out the answer of this question? Yes, Rupali, what should be the answer of this question?
C, sir.
C, Rai Reku. So why Chaut is wrong?
Sir, Chauthi and Sir Deshmukhi was during the Shivaji's time. He collected this
Yeah,
tax.
it was Maratha.
And Rayatwari was during the British time.
Very good. And what about Sardeshmukhi? Sardeshmukhi is about the Maratha. So you can eliminate
Maratha.
and remaining is the revenue assessment of the Vijayanagar Empire. So we have seen that there are questions have been asked about the revenue assessment of the Vijayanagar Empire as well as the other small kingdoms. That is why I have included this question. So you need to know the revenue assessment system of the Vijayanagar Empire. So question can be asked about it. Next question, who was in charge of Pargana? So Amin, Pattidar, Shikdar and Onango. So you need to know the who were all these people, right? So yes, Rupali. So do you know who was the in charge of Pargana during the Mughal administration? Amin, Pattidar, Shikdar or Onango?
Don't know, sir.
You marked it or you didn't mark it?
Didn't mark it.
Okay, fine. Chandrasekhar?
Patidar, sir.
Pattidar. Sure.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes,
yes.
and Zainab?
Sir, it is A. Amir.
Amin. Okay. Sonali?
Sir, it is C, Shikdar.
The देखिए, so where you can see that various like other many students have many interpretation about it, right? So Patidar, now we'll see what is the meaning of Patidar here. So Patidar during the medieval period. Who is Patidar? Okay, Sonali, why did you mark Shikdar? Did you read it something or it was just a guess?
Guess.
Now here you can see Patidar is an Indian caste found mostly in Gujarat, but also in at least 22 other states of India. Transgenerational and transnational families in Europe beyond experiences. 1 second. So here you can see who were these Patidars. Patidar, you must have heard about them, right? Patidar movement was also there. So Patidar means these were the revenue collection, what you can see the officers, right? So here you can see the question says, who was the in charge of Pargana? So Amin, Patidar, Shikdar and Onango. The answer should be Amin, I guess. So let me check it out whether Amin is correct or not. Yes, Zainab, why did you mark Amin?
Sir, I've read it.
You have read it. So during which administration Amins were available?
The
Mughals or
Mughals.
Turkish?
Sir, it was the Mughals. It was Amil, AMIL. So I
Amil.
forget.
Right. So the Mughal Empire ruled hundreds of millions of people. India become Cheke. So here you can see, yes, he was the officer of Pargana. Amin Kunango. Kunango were the revenue officials. Kunango is also given here. So here you can see the officers of the official. Like here you can see the Amin was the head of the Pargana. So that is why the answer is Amin. That is correct. Fine. Check it. So that is what I'm asking you, that how you get it wrong in exam. If you don't know surely, it's better to like after going through this test, you need to what you can say understand which type of question should be attempted and which type of question should be left in the exam. The next question, match the list 1 with list 2. This is related to the temple architecture of the medieval India. So Ratha, Mandapa, Gopuram, and Garbhagriha were what they were. That is what is asked here, right? So what was Ratha? Ratha, hall, sanctum, sanctuarian, monolithic Pallava temples. Yes. So I guess Rathas were the features of the monolithic Pallava temple. So many monolithic temples have Rathas. Second, Mandapa, where the hall in front of the hall in front of the sanctuarium. That is, yes, Gopuram means monumental gateway and Garbhagriha means sanctum sanctorium. So this should be the matching here. So A3 B1. So A3 B1. So here you can see A3 B1. So answer should be B here. Right? So any doubts about this question?
No,
Check.
sir.
Check. Going to the next question. The portion of the actual produce fixed as state share under the Zapti system of Mughal was. So you need to know what is this Zapti system. So a portion of the actual produce fixed as a state share under the Zapti system was 1/2, 1/3, 1/4, 1/5. So most of the times they do not ask such factual question, but you need to know. Anyone knows how much share was taken under the Zapti system? Yes, Zainab, do you know how much was, we can say, taken as a share in the Zapti system during the Mughal time?
So 1/3, I guess.
1/3. Check. Let me check it out. So under the Dahishala revenue system, the share which was taken by the state, that is what is called as Zapti system. So here you can see how much was what you can say collected by them. I have asked you to read all these things from Jagran Josh. Jagran Josh have the information about it. Okay. Even I don't know how much exactly. So Zainab is saying it's 1/10, and it should be hello. Hello.
Yes.
Okay. We'll go to the next question now. Which one of the following was the basic premise of the Bhakti moment? So Bhakti moment, maximum questions have been asked on the Bhakti moment last time. So Bhakti or single-minded, uninterrupted and extreme devotion to God with the help of Brahmins was the only means of salvation. So is it correct or wrong? Yes, Chandrasekhar, what do you think? The statement is correct or wrong? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir, audible.
So the statement is correct or wrong, Rupali?
I think, sir, it is wrong.
Why it is wrong?
Because it is saying that with the help of Brahmin.
Yes. So there was no need of taking help of Brahmins, and it also never said that it is the only means of salvation. So two ways, only and Brahmins. So that statement is wrong. Second statement, bhakti or single-minded, uninterrupted and extreme devotion to God was the only means of salvation. So the second statement should be correct or wrong? It should be correct, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So B is the answer of this question. Question number 15. Who among the following had given the doctrine of Advaita or Monism? So the doctrine is given by Shankara. So you need to go and check it out. What was the philosophy of Advaita and what was the contribution of Shankaracharya in propagating the philosophy of Advaita? Check it. Then going to the next question. Who preaches Vishishta Advaita? Now, as a reaction to Advaita, there was one philosophy, and that philosophy is called as Vishishta Advaita. Anyone knows who has what you can say propagated the philosophy of Vishishta Advaita?
Ramanuja.
Sure.
Yes, sir, I am sure.
So Ramanuja is correct here. So who was the disciple of Vallabhacharya? Tulsidas, Surdas, Tukaram, Ramanuja. Yes. Surdas was the disciple of Vallabhacharya. Did you check it out or you marked it as a guesswork?
Sir, I marked it B, but it is correct, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay. Question number 18. Consider the following statement related to the Bhakti movement. Originated as a reaction against the caste division, untouchability, and ritualism in India. Yes, this is correct. Devotion was the pivotal point in Bhakti cult in uniting human soul with God. Yes, both the statements are correct here. Right? Any doubts about this question? If you have any doubts, you can ask me. I'm going, Karen, because we have left with 6 minutes. So I want to finish. If you have any doubts about the answer which I'm telling to you, we can discuss about it. So which statement related to Ramananda is correct? He worshipped Ram and Sita, but preached the oneness of God and doctrine of bhakti for everyone. About the Ramananda. Yes, this is correct. Dismiss the caste system and untouchability and simplify the rules of worship and made rigidity of Varnashrama tradition milder. Yes, both the statements are correct here. Second, select the correct statement related to Kabir. He was disciple of Ramananda and the most liberal among the medieval Indian reformers. Yes, this is also correct. He was possibly a contemporary of Sultan Muhammad bin Tughlaq. So I'm not sure about this, whether he was contemporary or not. Anyone knows whether he was contemporary of the Muhammad bin Tughlaq or not? Did you check it out, whether this statement is correct or not? No. He was contemporary of which ruler then, Rupali?
Lodi ruler, sir.
Lodi. So the second statement is wrong then. Okay? Then going to the question number 21. Consider the following statement is related to the Dadu Dayal. The question have been asked about the Dadu Dayal earlier. He was a worshipper of Lord Krishna. He was not for caste or class distinction, and his objective was establishing harmony among all faiths. So here second statement may be correct. So there must be something wrong in the first statement, whether he was the worship of the Lord Krishna or he was the worship of or some any other god. So anyone knows who was whether he was a worshipper of Lord Krishna or not? Did you check it out whether the Dadu Dayal was the worshipper of the Lord Krishna or not?
Sir, he was a Nirgun Singh.
So he was not worshipper of the Lord Krishna.
No.
Okay, check it. So the first statement is wrong then. So most of the time in such type of statement the UPC makes mistakes, or they make what you can say they try to catch you in trap. Second statement. Who founded the faith on ritual free, simple Sat Sri Akal or worship of God in truth? So Dadu Dayal, Guru Nanak, Sri Chaitanya, Guru Gobind Singh. Yes. Ritual free or the worship of God in truth. So answer is Guru Nanak. Guru Gobind Singh has started the Sikh religion, but the Sat Sri Akal was started by Guru Nanak. So answer should be B here. 23. Consider the following statement. In the course of evolution of forms of worship in many instances, poets, saints emerge as leaders and who have developed the community. Yes, that is correct. Brahmanas remain important intermediaries between gods and devotees in several forms of bhakti. No, this is wrong. So first statement is correct, second statement is wrong. At a different level, historians of religion often classify bhakti tradition into two broad categories, Saguna and Nirguna. Yes, so this is correct. So 1, 2, so answer should be 1 and 3 only. Yes, C should be the answer of this question. Question number 24. Some of the earliest bhakti moments were led by Alwar, 6th century. Alwars and literally those were immersed in the devotion of Vishnu, while Nayanars were the devotees of Shiva. So that statement is correct or wrong?
Correct,
Alwars,
sir.
this is correct. Very good. The question I have been already asked in UPSC last previous year. The travel from place to place singing hymns in Tamil in praise of their gods. This is also correct. During their
Correct.
travel, during their travels, Alvars and Nayanas identified certain shrines as abodes of their chosen deities. So this is correct or wrong? So I think all of the above are correct. Question number 25. Alvars and Nayanars initiated movement of protest against caste system and the dominance of the Brahmins. Yes, Alvars and Nayanars always supported the caste system in society. No, this is wrong. Third statement, the importance of the traditions of Alvars and Nayanars was sometimes indicated by the claim their composites were important as the Vedas. Yes. And fourth statement is which of the so answer should be 1 and 3 here. 26. Which of the following statement is correct definition of Nirguna? Formless God. It is the concept of formless God. A should be the answer of this question. Consider the following statement related to the impact of Bhakti movement. Bhakti movement resulted in surge of Hindu literature in regional and vernacular medium. Yes, that is correct. Bhakti movement resulted in surge in Buddhist texts in regional vernacular languages. No, this is wrong. So first statement is correct. Bhakti movement did not increase in the Buddhist text, but yes, Hindu literature was emerged during the Bhakti movement. So first statement is correct. So only one. 28. Which of the following is correct about Alvar saints? The 12 Alvar saints, Tamil poets who lived in 6th and 9th century, espoused emotional devotion. Yes, that is correct. And 63 Alvar saints were the Shiva devotional poets who lived in 5th and 10th centuries. So this is again a factual question. Information you need to go and check it out. And 29, select the correct answer with reference to the Bhakti movement. Collection of Alvar saints hymns is known as Divya Prabandha. Compilation of the Alvar saints poetry that is called as Tamil Veda. Yes. So both the statements are correct. So answer should be C here. Last question, that is which of the following is in an intensely emotional form of Hinduism that flourished from the 16th century, mainly in Bengal and Eastern Orissa. So I guess Eastern Orissa should be the answer of Gaudiya Sampradaya, I guess. Am I right? Yes, Gaudiya Sampradaya has been developed in Bengal and in Orissa. Go and just check it out whether it should be yes Gaudiya Sampradaya or maybe the Krishna cult of the Vallabhacharya. दोनों में से एक आंसर होना चाहिए.